Good afternoon, class. My name is Specialist Brown. Today I will be going over class 071-COM-0801, challenging persons entering your area. The overall risk level is low today, but we do have a few hazards. We have desks with sharp corners. Please be mindful not to hit your hip, your thigh, your pinky toe. We want you to leave fully mission capable. Leave as you came, 100%. Food and drink. Please be mindful of any electronic devices around you, i.e. printers, computers, outlets. We do not want to create any shock. Objects on the floor. Please get anything out of the walkway. We want to mitigate any tripping hazards. We do have cords in the middle of the floor. Extension cords, computer wires. Some of them are duct taped, but as we all know, that doesn't stop everything. So please be mindful of those. We do not want you to trip on the floor and hit your head. We are close to fault lines, so in the event of an earthquake, please get under a desk or a table with a hard surface. The items needed, we have water, ID, and a weapon of some sort. Before I get started, are there any questions? If you do have cell phones, please make sure that they are on silent, as we do not want any outside interruptions for this class. As I stated, this class will be going over 071-COM-0801. Conditions. You are a member of a squad or team providing security for your unit in a field environment. You have your assigned weapon, individual protective equipment, and the current challenge and password. An unknown person or persons is approaching your area. Some iterations of this task should be performed in Mach 4. Standards. Detect and challenge all approaching personnel. Prevent compromise of password. Allow personnel positively identified as friendly to pass and disarm, detain, and report personnel not positively identified. Special condition, none. Safety risk, low. Mach 4, sometimes. Task statements, Q, none, note, none. At this time, I will be going over to see if you have the required items that I just went over. Water. Water? All right. ID. Last but not least, weapon. Performance steps. Detect all personnel entering your area. Challenge an individual that enters your area. Cover the individual with your weapon without disclosing your position. Command the individual to halt before they are close enough to pose a threat. Note, commands and questions must be loud enough to be heard by the individual, but not loud enough that others outside of the immediate area can hear you. Commands should be repeated as necessary. Ask, who is there? Just loud enough for the individual to hear. Note, the individual should reply with an answer that best describes them. Example, Sergeant Jones. Order the individual to advance to be recognized. Continue to keep individual covered without exposing yourself. Order the individual to halt when they are at least 2 to 3 meters from your position. Note, the individual should be halted at a location that provides protection to you and prevents them from escaping if they are deemed unfriendly. Issue the challenge in a low voice. Note, the challenge should be only heard by the individual challenged to prevent all others from overhearing. You may also ask the individual questions that only a friendly person should be able to answer correctly. Determine if the individual is friendly based upon their return of the correct password and your situational awareness. Allow the individual to pass if the individual returns to the correct as you were. Allow the individual to pass if the individual returns the correct password and you are convinced the individual is friendly. Detain an individual if they return an incorrect password or cannot be positively identified as friendly. Direct the individual to disarm. Notify your chain of command. Await instruction from your command. Challenge a group that enters your area. Note, these procedures and precautions are similar to those for challenging a single person. Cover the group with your weapon without disclosing your position. Order the group to halt before they are close enough to pose a threat to you. Command, who is there? Which is loud enough to be heard by the group. Wait for a reply from group. Note, reply should be as you were. Reply should clearly identify group. Example, friendly patrol. Order the leader of the group to advance to be recognized. Continue to keep group leader covered without exposing yourself. Order the group leader to halt when the individual is within 2 to 3 meters from your position. The group leader should be halted as you were. Note, the group leader should be halted at a location that provides protection to you and prevents the leader from escaping if they are deemed unfriendly. Issue the challenge only to the group leader. Note, you should also ask questions that only a friendly person should be able to answer correctly. Determine if the group leader is friendly based upon the return of the correct password and your situational awareness. Direct the group leader to remain with you to assist in identifying group members if you determine he or she is unfriendly. Determine the group leader to vouch for or positively identify each member of his group as they pass to your flank. Detain any individual in the group not recognized by the group leader by disarming them and having them wait until your chain of command provides additional instructions. Detain the group leader if not positively identified as friendly. Direct the individual to disarm. Direct him or her to perform their group to wait. Notify your chain of command. Please await instruction from your chain of command. At this time, I will be giving you 5 minutes of practice. Time begins now. Our 5 minutes has elapsed. At this time, I will reinstate the task conditions and standards of 071-COM-0801, challenging persons in your area. Conditions. You are a member of a squad or team providing security for your unit in a field environment. You have your assigned weapon, individual protective equipment, and the current challenge and password. An unknown person or persons is entering your area. Some iterations of this task should be performed in Mach 4. Standards. Detect and challenge all approaching personnel. Prevent compromise of password. Allow personnel positively identified as friendly to pass and disarm detain and report personnel not positively identified. At this time, we will be beginning your evaluation. Are there any questions before you eval? No? At this time, evaluation begins. Congratulations, soldier. You have passed. You are officially trained. I will be going over the performance measures. That way you know exactly what you did properly. You were able to detect all personnel entering your area. You challenged all individuals that entered your area. You challenged all groups that entered your area. So again, I must reiterate, you are a trained soldier and you have passed. But if for whatever reason you did fail, training would have been at 0930 tomorrow in this classroom. All right, that conducts training. We will be conducting a police call. So please leave the area better than it was whenever you got here. We do not want anyone realizing that we are a messy group. So please clean your areas and get everything squared away. All right. Police call is over. Everything's good. All right. At this time, I will be inspecting your items again, make sure that nothing was lost. Water source. Drink your water. Your ID. And weapon. I know you say you drank your water, but you do have a little bit, and I can actually see the bottle in which it came in. Right. This time, we will be conducting an AAR. So, what was supposed to happen? The brief on challenging persons entering your area. What did happen? We gave a brief on challenging persons entering your area. Was the criteria met? Yes. We went over what was supposed to happen, i.e. the class challenging persons entering your area. I gave you your brief, went over the items needed, and I gave you your task conditions, standards, and the demonstration of the performance. I gave you time to practice and evaluation. Any improvements? The actual weapons. Okay. Any more improvements? Mach 4 gear? We'll try that next time. We have to give a C-burn. Alright. Any more? Any more improvements? Any sustains? Great location. You said imaginary weapons. And I'm not really imaginary, just not M4, M9 type weapons. Any other sustains? Notes were with me at all times. Were there any injuries or any lost equipment? No? All right, at this time, Staff Sergeant Fulford, my squad is fully trained on challenging persons entering your area. No soldiers were lost, no equipment was damaged, and there were no injuries. All controls were effective. At this time, Staff Sergeant Fulford, I am requesting to close the site. Roger.